I bet you $1 that you can get out tonight's paper and go through it, and sooner or later you'll find an ad in there, a display ad that says gigantic values, which means 10 cents off on Right Guard. Now, that's supposed to be a value. What I'm talking about here in the sense of values is those concepts, those ideals of life which to you are all important, those things which really count, those things which are in themselves relatively unchanging, those basic principles that are necessary for you to be a human being, those concepts for which you would die and therefore live by.
My family has always put a big impact on how important it is to have those strong values in faith and respect and community service. So I think that's why St. Andrews has always been a really big part of my family, because the values St. Andrews teaches and the values that my family teaches are the same values.
Children of this community are this community's future, and St. Andrews is one of those places where children are given a chance, and regardless of what they've struggled with before or their background, this school in my mind really does work miracles.
I think that if you look at the demographics of our country, it's truly changing, and I think that having the kids, like when I was here as well as kids today, you learn a level of confidence that you don't get everywhere, you know. This is the pride of belonging someplace, to be a part of something bigger than what you are.
There's a little bit of the entire world here in the halls of St. Andrews, and so by learning from a very early age to live with, work with, learn with people who are different than you, whether it be by race, whether it be by religion, we're teaching our children to become members of a global world, and I think it's just a very wonderful and important lesson for the children to learn.
I wanted my children to go to St. Andrews because it was first and foremost, it's a good school. I mean, I wouldn't send my kids to a poor school no matter what the reason. But secondly, because it was a city school, with all that means. I mean, it was in the energy of the city, and it was a very diverse school where my kids would be playing with kids of all backgrounds.
That combination of students, as well as the diversity of their families in terms of family income, ethnic background, whether or not they were born in the United States or this is a first generation here, I think all of that diversity brings to the students a living experience that you can't get in a textbook. They learn to get along with people unlike themselves, and yet it becomes sort of a seamless garment.
The kingdom of God looks like this school. There are people of many different abilities in all different backgrounds and different cultures. And now, it's difficult for me to say now more than ever, but certainly now as much as ever. And certainly as far into the future as I can envision. And that's what St. Andrews represents within this community.
Dynamic means a vision of our time, of our world, a philosophy of life, if you will. And in this, what you see is not just the collection of orderly, harmonious, interlocking things in great order, but you see rather and primarily a constant change. You see the world itself as a thing always evolving, always in flux, nothing ever absolutely stable, that there's always a change, a development, an ongoing, a progression.
St. Andrews is very dynamic and fabulous, but at the same time unassuming, and I don't think there's a lot of pretension here. I think it's just a place where people are very passionate about educating children, not just in the basics of academics, but also in preparing them for life.
I see it in my own children, Maria and Adam, who went all 9 years from kindergarten through 8th grade here, and they came out with both some really good soft skills and some hard skills. I think the soft skills were the interrelationship and understanding how to deal with people of all walks of life. That's the diversity equation. On the hard skills, this school really teaches the discipline basics of reading, writing, arithmetic, as well as some very important skills needed in the world today, another language, cultural understanding. These are things that really play out well in today's workforce.
St. Andrews creates the kind of young adult that turns into the kind of adult I would like to hire. They create bright, inquisitive children.
Law Day was a great experience for all the students involved in it. And what happened was different teachers and students from Cooley Law School, they came and taught us about how trials run, and they gave us a mock trial, and we got assigned to different roles in the trial, like the defense attorneys or the prosecution attorneys, or to be the witnesses. And it was just a great experience getting to learn outside of the classroom and using different critical thinking, and we actually wrote all of our own questions and responses and statements, and I really learned a lot about the career of being a lawyer.
We have a capacity for usefulness that simply cannot be denied. I think the best analogy on this was the one the man worked out with a plain bar of iron. A plain bar of iron, at least when he worked this out, was worth about $5. If you make it into horseshoes, the value goes up to $10.50. If you make it into needles, the value goes to $3,285. If you make it into watch springs, the value skyrockets to $250,000. Now, every one of us starts out pretty much as a plain $5 bar of iron. And our ultimate value to our community depends on what we make of ourselves for that community. And many of us are worth a lot more than we think.
Donating to the foundation and donating to the school can come in so many different ways. It can come financially, it can come from donating time, it can come from donating talents or skills. Everybody has something that they can give, and that's one of the things that makes this school and this foundation so strong, is because everyone is willing to give of their time and their talent and their energy to make the school succeed and to make the foundation succeed.
As you know, even in these tough economic times we're in right now, I think that you're realizing how much education is such vital to the success of our country. Programs like at St. Andrews help foster that kind of student to go on to become presidents, senators, you name it, business leaders, and without someone having that investment in the future, it's an investment. I think most of the folks on the foundation board are major players in our community, and they've made some major investments around our community. I think this is just a small part of that investment in our future as a community. I think that the money they put here is money well invested, guaranteed.
Were it not for the belief that the foundation has in our mission and its willingness to support that mission on a yearly basis and on a daily basis, St. Andrews would not be the school it is. It would not carry on the rich tradition it has enjoyed. And for all of that generosity, I speak on behalf of our staff and students and say thank you.
If we can determine what it means to be truly human, if we can grasp the idea of man as involved in God's love and in God's plan, and reject the idea that this life is a tale told by an idiot, if we can rise up to love and to care and to come alive, if we can establish values and make decisions, personal decisions, on the basis of those standards, rich with the past, alive in the present, facing an onrushing future, if we can become people who are able to cope and live in an age of change because we have a standard of values, because we are willing to live them consistently and honestly, because we are able to approach all with a genuine love and concern as they go through this agony, if we can become a people of decision and of values and of love, we may yet be the most blessed nation God has ever allowed on the face of this earth.